In this video, we're going to talk about how the action potential travels down the axon. So starting with our polarized membrane, meaning that we have more sodium ions on the outside and less sodium ions on the inside. And we have more potassium ions on the inside and less potassium ions on the outside. So we can say that our membrane is less positive on the inside. So in order for the action potential to even begin traveling down the axon, the process needs to start at the cell body with along with the dendrites. So local potentials add up to cause the action potential, and that summation occurs at the axon hillock, which is right here with these with the body meets the axon. So when the summation is reached, threshold is reached, which is said to be when we reach negative 55 millivolts. So when that happens, the bolted sodium gated channels are going to open. So the green ones, they're going to open, and sodium ions are going to flood in to the cell. So once they flood in, we say that our membrane is depolarized. Once that happens, once the sodium ions begin flooding in and moving down the axon, then the sodium channels begin to close. I'm gonna put an X here on our sodium channels, and when that happens, the potassium channels are going to open, and potassium ions are going to flood out. And this is said to be when we are repolarizing our membrane. So as more sodium channels are opening down here and sodium is coming in, then the previous sodium channels are closing and sodium ions are coming in. And potassium ions are flooding out through the voltage gated potassium channels. So obviously the axon will be a lot longer than this, but as we can tell, in different stages along the axon, we're gonna have parts where the membrane is polarized, meaning that it's that initial stage where we have more potassium on the outside. We have more sodium on the outside and less potassium on the inside. And then in a different stage, we're gonna have the depolarization, which is when the sodium ions come in, and once they're in, those channels are going to the signal begins to travel down the axon. Those channels are gonna close, and those potassium ions are going to float out, repolarizing our axon. So that is how the action potential travels down the axon.